Alright, so we got a new blog post here that came up a day ago. I was actually going to make a video about it, but I want kind of to give Cerebro and Seeks one day to kind of, I guess, respond to, whatever, because there was so much just on Reddit and everything, everyone was complaining, people are still complaining. I'm going to complain in this video. This is basically going to be a rant video, so yeah, just bear with me. We're going to talk a lot about stuff, but for what this blog post includes, it's not good. Okay. That's just the easy way of saying it. So, of course, there's some, I guess, cool things going with Adam Warlock, but if he's not going to be available for anybody who doesn't whale, is he going to be any fun? Because I see this game moving right now with this blog post in a direction that is not friendly to free to play and just kind of pushes you to take more money out of your wallet. Kind of like they did with the strike passes that have come in the last few months. It's kind of also to do with that. And we're also going to talk about the Polaris strike pass just for a little bit. And we'll get to that. So if we go here into the blog post, we have the Mass of All Souls. So here we got Adam Warlock, which is coming to the game. He is going to be a legendary unlock, and his requirements are just absolutely stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm not that well versed into the Marvel universe. Like, if you watch my streams and such, you know that. But I have searched around a little bit on Reddit and such, and I just see people complaining that it doesn't make any sense because they have no connections at all. But anyway, we're going to talk about it. We have, I don't know, just so much from raids and characters requirement. It's just stupid. But let's start off with Adam Warlock. So he's going to be the newest legendary coming to the game, and he is going to be the third legendary that comes on. We're going to have Doc Ock, then Jubilee again, then Adam Warlock. So it's you'll still have some time to get him, but I don't think any free to play will get him. So we are not. Usually I would talk about his kit, but I'm not going to do it today because this is a rant video, and I don't want to spend time with this. But if you do, just feel free, pause the video, you can read it, or you can check the blog post out yourself if you haven't yet. But anyway, he looks like a really good character, and I think it's Nebula and Gamora that are getting a rework to go with him. We'll still have to see. So let's just go past there. As I said, feel free to pause if you want to check out the kit. Anyway, the Infinity Watch. So that's the new tag that Adam Warlock is going to get. So add the explosive abilities of Adam Warlock to roster with his upcoming legendary event, the Infinite Watch. So join X-Factor Investigation and Jubilee on the intergalactic search for the missing Adam Warlock. And this is kind of where some people are not happy that I've seen, because as I said, I'm not that well versed into the Marvel universe, comic books, whatever. I watch the movies, and that's about it. And play this game. That's my Marvel knowledge. So, but people are definitely saying that the X Factor suddenly going together with Jubilee in search of Warlock just doesn't make any sense. I saw one comment that basically compared it to being the Ravager going to search for, I guess, Thanos or something. It was just an absolutely stupid comparison, and yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But you know why they do this? Because X Factor isn't free to play. Some of them you can get from the beta ops or Greek ops, whatever, you can farm them. But Polaris and Multiple Man aren't farmable yet. I think the other two, Longshot and Shadowstar, I think those two are farmable, but Polaris and Multiple Man not farmable yet. And do you know who's currently in the daily strike pass? Like the one from the daily challenge, it's Polaris. And what a convenient time to actually announce that X Factor are going to be a requirement for this new legendary here, just as the strike pass ends. And I'm pretty sure there was going to be like a second strike pass of Polaris also, so it's giving you a chance to earn the shards from the regular to purchase a strike pass, then get another strike pass and buy that strike pass again to get some extra shards, just so you would spend money to unlock Adam Warlock, because his kit looks very good. Like he has we're not going to talk about it, but we'll just see here. He has like a new ability here. Apply Safeguard plus Immunity. So Safeguard is basically like you can't flip buffs, you can remove buffs, whatever. It's just basically immunity to removing the buffs. But yeah, so he looks really good, and he's a legendary, so he's most likely going to be, basically a very good character. So yeah, but let's continue on a little bit, and we'll get more to the X Factor and Jubilee. So, along with an Apex team, Adam Warlock's arrival also ushers in the first Mythic Legendary event. In addition to the required characters and star levels, Mythic Legendary events will have additional requirements, such as gear and ISO 8. The minimum requirement for tier 5, which is the unlock, because you always need to clear 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then you get the unlock because you know you need all the shards, and then you can recruit Adam Warlock. So if you played Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, you're probably familiar with this, because they have actually implemented it in a lot of stuff. With the Galactic Legends, the Jedi Knight Luke event, you know, you have to have hard requirements. It's not like you can depend on having good mods or play good. It's just you just have to have the characters at high gear level, because why not? They said you need to. That's it. That's it. They said you need to, so yeah, and that's basically what's going to happen here. They're going to say, you can't do this event unless you got this gear, you got this high ISO. Not going to let you do it if you don't have it. So not just having the star requirement anymore. You don't just need a 6-star, 7-star, you know, whatever to unlock. You also need gear requirement. And on top of that, they're piling on ISO 8. And ISO 8, I'm feeling, is going to be a huge bottleneck soon. It already is with Ions, but we are getting more to that with raids. So as you can see here, to recruit Adam Warlock, we need Jubilee at 5-star, which is already a legendary event, which you need the pimp text for at 5-star, at least to unlock her. And I'm not sure how many free-to-play got her on the first run. I managed to get her on the first run because they managed to put out the pimp text so early for farmable. So I spent a few cores to refresh the other thing, but I still managed to get her free-to-play, and it wasn't a big problem. So I didn't have a problem with that event. But I'm having a problem with this event because it doesn't look like you're going to be able to do it. It looks like you're going to have to pay away. Kind of like, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Black Bolt. Black Bolt was also like very pay to play because you couldn't basically get him unless you spent money. And I don't really like that. And I'll tell you one thing about that. I don't really care that free to play doesn't get the character right away. Like we always see that with new releases, because everybody can start buying the characters as they arrive. Get the unlock, and then 2 weeks later free to play can get them through some event or something. I don't mind that, but a legendary character is very important to the game, and it's going to take several months for them to be farmable again. So you know, basically, if let's say Adam Warlock arrives now in June, maybe, I don't know, we'll say June, he might not return until like, what is it, June, July, August, September, October, I don't know, maybe October, who knows? Maybe we're lucky with September, only 4 months, but we don't know. It can go 4 months, 5, 6. It's such a long time for a viable character. And by the time they return, they kind of have lost viability because new characters and all of that. So I don't really like that. I don't really like the game moving more in that direction. But there's so much more in this blog post than just Adam Warlock to complain about. But we are still going to complain a bit more, because I said Jubilee at 5-star. She really isn't such a big deal, I think, because she is having her second run now, and they clarified it in the blog post that Jubilee is actually coming before Adam Warlock arrives. So we're going to have Doc Ock coming next, then Jubilee, then Adam Warlock. So you'll have a chance to unlock Jubilee, at least if you haven't yet, with the pimp tech. And if you aren't ready with your pimp tech now to at least get the unlock, I don't know what to say. You should be able to free to play, pay to play, whatever. You should be able to get her. So moving on, the 4 X factors, characters at 5-star. So Shadowstar and Longshot really isn't that difficult, because I think they're like in one of the Greek codes or whatever, and I'm pretty sure I got both of them at 5-star now, so those aren't a problem. Multiple Man, he's a bigger problem for me. I didn't go hard for his campaign event, so I have mine at like 3-star, so he needs to become farmable really soon in a very, very available place if I'm supposed to get him. And then lastly, Polaris, I just unlocked her from the Strike Pass. They're free to play. I haven't bought the one for $20, and I'm not going to do it. And yeah, it's like 2-star unlock, and then if I buy it, I get like 50 more shots for 3-star unlock. And I think if you complete the next pass and then also buy it, you'll get the 4-star. So you still have to end up spending a little bit more money to buy some more packs with Polaris. So I don't know. It just feels scummy. Maybe we're overthinking this, and they'll make them all farmable somewhere sooner, so we can manage to get them. But I don't really think so. It's not moving in this direction, because especially when we move on to what's next. So character level 65 as a requirement, that really isn't that bad. 65, that's very doable. Gear tier 12, it isn't the baddest, but still we are starting to have gear requirements. You have to spend gear to get into gear 12. It's it just I don't like it. I think Gear 12 is right before yellow, so you don't have to spend enough the mini uniques or whatever, so you can at least rest safe with that. But here's the biggest problem I have: the ISO 8 class. So ISO 8, we all know it's a huge bottleneck. We all need much more ISO 8, and we need much more ions just to level everybody. Like currently I'm doing Ebony more, getting him to like ISO 5, and it's just so expensive. I just keep having to check every day and such, you know, to do I got enough ions today to get them. I got like 2 more, I need to set them in for 50k each, and then need to do the ability for 50k also, so at least like 150k more ions, and it is just not available for many players. Like it should be much more available, like do more daily challenges or whatever. Anyway, moving on. Tier 6 of the event will not have any requirements, so you know, just use whatever. But that's probably like a training, I guess, training tier, whatever, kind of like we got with this Ebony Maw, so we can test out the full Black Order or whatever. And then here, Tier 7, which is the 6-star unlock, and Tier 8, which is the 7-star unlock. So starting at Tier 6 or Tier 7, you need Gear Tier 13, ISO 8, class level 4. And then if you want the 7-star, you need Gear Tier 14 and ISO 5. And that's really expensive. You have to do 5 characters, like 5 characters to ISO 5. And do you know how many ions that is? I haven't even calculated, but it's insane. It's like 300k on each character, I think, like over 300k. So it's like you have to spend over 1 million, like 1.5 million ions just to get that team ready for the event. And imagine imagine the event, you know, it comes by for first time, second time, you know, whatever, and you have all the gear requirements, but you don't have the ISO requirements because you're missing ions. It's just, I don't know, it's just so I don't know, scumbaggy to do. I feel like it's just so scumbaggy to do, but I'm guessing this is going to be the new norm. We'll have to either accept it or, you know, leave the game. It happened with Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. It's come to stay. You know, the gear requirements, the hard set gear requirements, it's come to stay. It's annoying, but it is what it is. But I'm just here ranting. Hopefully they can, you know, acknowledge that something here is a problem and that they could fix it. So just keep complaining on Reddit, you know, whatever, send them message to forums. I don't know, whatever communication stuff they use. But now enough about Adam Warlock for now. I'm just short summoner. I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about having set gear requirements. I'm not happy about him most likely being a pay to win characters at launch. But we'll see. We'll see. But here's also a big problem. So Doom Raid. So we got Doom Raids a few months back. I think it was a few months back, not too long ago. It was very hard, you know, nobody can deny that. But more and more guilds have started to do it. Our guilds has actually started to do it. I'm not sure like where we're like in terms of top 100, top 500, you know, whatever. I think we're like a top 500, at least top 500, top 300, somewhere around there in raids. And we usually do Doom Raid 1, like difficulty 1, each week at 30%. And we do the strategy where everybody runs on mid lane. We actually have like a few ones with like, what's it, like high Jubilee, high mutant teams, X-Force, X-Factor, you know, go into the one that's just for the mutants, because they can usually clear some nodes by themselves, and then, you know, the rest go in the middle. So it's like usually 6 middle, 2 top. So something like that, and it usually works out pretty well. We get the 30% and all, but it seems like, as I see on forum, some might think this is a counter to it, and I think I can kind of agree. But we'll have to see, because they're going to change it a bit. Because the first iteration is what they call first strike, basically like the beta testing or whatever, you know, master beta testers, because that's what we are. Anyway, so the first update to Doom Raids will be more linked to ISO 8 as requirements to participate and as additional rewards. So as we know, it was kind of determined a few weeks back. I think it was months back that, you know, blue ISO or ISO tier 2, whatever you want to call it, was coming to the game, and it was like through Doom Raid you'll get them, and now they are coming. So here is the changes. So characters used in the first 5 nodes of Doom 1 will now need to be equipped with at least ISO 8 green class level 4. That means you need at least ISO level 4 to even use them in Doom Raid. So Now ISO 4 isn't as bad as ISO 5 because it's much cheaper. Like it just costs a fraction to go to ISO 4 compared to ISO 5, but it's still expensive, and especially if you want to do more than one team, it's going to take a lot of time, and this is going to put the brakes on a lot of guilds doing this. And also they have this is what I mean by that they might have nerfed it for anybody who just runs it on mid, because if you want to move past the first initial nodes, you need ISO class level 5, so the one higher tier, the one that costs like 300k more, 200k more, you know, whatever. That means you're able to do the 5 first nodes. So that means they want to try and just push you into doing the 5 nodes in the bottom, middle, and upper lane, instead of just going all through mid. Because no, you can't do that unless, you know, of course you can still do that if everyone has like ISO 5 teams, but who really has that? Like, I don't know, I see most people stopping at ISO 3 or whatever, because that's kind of the sweet spot. And usually some at ISO 5, ISO 4 I mean, just to get extra help, but usually isn't required. But yeah, I don't really like that. I don't really like that. But with it, you know, they are going to give us the new ISO blue is what they're calling it. So reaching at least level 30 with now on your T2 ISO 8 credits, which can be used to open ISO 8 blue class orbs of your choice, similar to gear credits. So I'm guessing it's basically an orb you can choose, you know, do you want to open ISO for support, attacker, brawler, you know, whatever. So we'll have to see, but I'm still very unsure of it. Maybe if it's still, you know, easy enough to get to 30% without needing to run it on middle, and the ISO tier 2 is actually worth it and will help you a lot more in the raid. We'll still have to see what the ISO tier 2 will be, but so far it's not looking good. And with that, we also have a difficulty modifier here, or modifying the difficulty, I guess, whatever you want to call it. So the Doom 1 updates also include addition of the raid difficulty selector, which will have let's see, this is for the ultimates, but let's see, there it is, the overall difficulty for Doom 1. So this raid will still be the ultimate challenge for your alliance, but the enemy will now provide a more focused challenge. So enemy power levels on the node preview will be updated to reflect the changes, so you can inspect the details before entering each nodes. So I don't know if it's like becoming easier, becoming harder, if they're just changing how you see. I'm not sure, but they're just way too vague on this stuff, and it's kind of annoying. You just have to keep asking questions and everything. But I'm not happy about this. I feel like Doom Raid kind of works fine as it is now. Many more guilds can do the 30%, and it's fine even if we weren't on mid. You know, how about putting the tier 2 ISO on 60% instead? Because that kind of forces you to not go out through just the middle lane. That kind of forces you into other lanes also. But I know. I'm just here to rant. So we got an MSI API basically, so you can see stats or whatever, you know, outside of guild. Like we got MSF.gg, but you have to manually input your stuff and all that. It just automatically does it. So we have some character availability. I'm not really in the mood just to try and be with some of the happy stuff, but it's somewhat good, somewhat bad. But Yo-Yo is being removed, or not removed. I think she's still available, but I don't know. But at least she's being moved. She has like the 2% drop rate in the premium mobs, which is currently the highest drop rate, which means you technically should get more of her. But nobody really does it, because 2% is nothing really. So which is being replaced by Anti-Venom, and Anti-Venom has been like a character everybody has been requesting. You know, please make farm. I started this game like a few months ago, but I weren't with the Anti-Venom event, so you know I don't have Anti-Venom, and it's kind of annoying for them. I know they're just adding into premium and they can say what they way, fountainable or whatever shitty word they decide to call it. It's a bad place to farm characters in premium mobs. Very bad. I guess they do. If they maybe did something like, you know, increase drop rate on characters you don't have unlocked yet. So like if you're a new player, haven't unlocked the Anti-Venom yet, maybe you have like a 10% drop rate on him in premium mobs. Who knows? Maybe that could solve it, but it's still annoying. Yo-Yo, however, is going to be set in the raid store instead, so you know, maybe you can start farming Yo-Yo instead. But Inhumans are kind of starting to, or are basically becoming out of out of meta. You know, you see them being split up. You use Black Bolt together with what is Kestrel, Silver Surfer, you know, to beat other what is Hero for Hire teams, Kestrel teams, you know, whatever. We have some returning legendaries. As I said, Doc Ock will be the next legendary event, with Jubilee returning after that, and then we'll see Adam Warlock. So, you know, keep your eyes open for that. Just so you have kind of a timetable, or like they don't have a timetable, but when you see that, you know, Doc Ock comes here on May 31st, you know that the next one is going to be Jubilee, and probably not going to be far away. Somewhere in June probably. So I'm guessing Adam is going to be like July, maybe early July. We'll see, late June. We also got some blitzes. Let's see here. That's the core blitz. Not so exciting. We also got the Hero for Hire for Misty Knight. She's going to be very important. Hero for Hire, really good defensive team. But I don't know. I just feel like I can't do the happy stuff with the new characters, you know, whatever. Because I mean, just so triggered everything else. But Hero for Hire team, still good team. Should farm them if you can. We got some bonus and flash events. We got some double drops here for Guardians and such. I think that's actually going on right now, if I'm not mistaken. Guardians and Ravagers. We also got some more for Wakandans on May 28th, because we got Chaos Theory running. This will allow you to use our Wakandan teams to get more silver and gold promotion credits. I do have a video of it on my profile, so check that out if you're interested. And that's it for now. And there's just some additional event information, like Jubilee was coming for Adam Warlock, and you know, whatever, and a bit of that. You know, you can stop here and read it if you want, but I guess that's kind of it for this rant. Where it's just I'm not really happy about this whole blog post. It just feels like this game is moving more into a pay to win kind of setting, because I'm guessing with the ISO requirements right now, we're going to start seeing even more, you know, ISO 8 packs or whatever in the store, because they kind of want to try and sell more ISO 8 packs, get us to spend money, buy them, get ISO on our characters, buy more ions. At least that's my take on it. And especially for the X Factor, they definitely want us to buy the Strike Pass, because I see people have been joking that, you know, the only reason they did X Factor was because they didn't sell enough. They didn't sell enough of the Polaris strike passes, and they basically said, you know, fuck it, we'll make X Factor the next legendary requirement, and you know, everybody's forced to buy that strike pass, no matter how shitty or good you think it is. But anyway, I guess this is finally. I just kind of want to make this video and rant. It did get a little bit long, but if you did manage to stay throughout till the end, you know, thank you for watching. I'll try and have some more positive content posted here instead of just a rant video, because usually when we do a blog post, it's more happy content, and you know, we go through the builds and everything like that. But anyway, that's it for this video. If you did enjoy, consider leaving a like, consider subscribing, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, you know, whatever. We usually stream Marvel Strike Force, Galaxy of Heroes, whatever else we might have going on. But anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you for listening to my rant, and I'll see you in the next one.